Let's tip off NBA fantasy basketball with the first top 10 must-adds list of the season coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello sports fans and welcome back to Beat the Odds. I'm back for another season of fantasy basketball content geared to help you win your league. If you like the sound of that, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so that way you don't miss an episode. Do you have some last-minute drafts coming up? Check out my free draft kit playlist where I cover the top players for rotisserie, category, and points leagues. Do you have a burning fantasy basketball question? Ask me on Q. Go to askmeonq.com/beattheodds-NBA, submit your question, and I'll send you a personalized response right to your email. It's super easy to do and it's a great way to get expert fantasy basketball advice while also supporting this channel. Now let's get this list started. At number 10, we have Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaquez is slated to be one of the first wings off the bench for Miami this season. He will be the primary backup to both Jimmy Butler and Nikola Jovic, so I'd expect him to return to his high 20s to low 30s in minutes per night. It wouldn't surprise me to see Jaquez haul in 5 boards and collect 4 assists a night for the Heat. To number 9 we go. We have Ben Simmons. Plucking Simmons off the waiver wire is the best way to take a chance on the oft-injured star. He fits well on a fantasy team flush with scoring, as he is one of the most passive players in the NBA, but he could be a great source of rebounds and assists. I would prefer rostering him on category leagues, as that is where he will do the most damage. Moving on to number 8, we have Ausar Thompson. Ausar is a quality stash candidate. He is yet to be cleared by doctors to return to the court following his blood clot issue, but the energetic wing could pay huge dividends for fantasy teams with his ability to collect rebounds and stocks once he returns to play. Let him sit on your injured list until word comes out of his availability. Moving on to number 7, we have Jordan Clarkson. This Utah roster is far from settled, but it seems like they're prioritizing Keontae George's growth at the expense of Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson will still see minutes off the bench as Colin Sexton's main backup, but he will struggle to get to 30 minutes per game. You'll still need him to be a good target for scoring, but I really don't think he's going to offer much else. Let's go to number 6. We have Andre Drummond. If you have never rostered Drummond in your fantasy basketball career, let me give you some insight on what you should expect. He really doesn't need a whole lot of playing time to be useful, as he is still one of the league's most prolific rebounders. And of course, with Embiid's health likely in question all season, I'd expect some huge line from Drummond when he gets a chance to start. Moving on to number 5, we have Noah Clowney. Clowney is a player who will benefit you more in the back half of this season, as we're all expecting the Nets to be one of the worst teams this year. He might get 20 minutes a night out of the gate, but he should be featured more when it matters most during the fantasy basketball playoffs. He's a great player to have sitting on your bench until he gets his shot. Let's go to number 4. We have Norman Powell. Powell is in for a huge role to start the year, and he's worth a roster spot if he's available in your league. With Paul George out of town and Kawhi Leonard on the shelf, look to Powell to pick up the Lions' share of the scoring in their absence. He's well suited to eclipse 20 points a night with a bevy of threes, but don't expect too much else from him. To number 3 we go. We have Scoot Henderson. I fully think that Scoot Henderson is in for a solid year too. He will get the opportunity out of the gates to show that he's an effective floor general, as he will be starting alongside Anthony Simons to begin the season. To get the value for rostering him for a full season, he just needs to keep his field goal percentage north of 40 and his turnovers to less than 3 a game. Let's go to number 2. We have Zachary Rissache. Rissache, the number 1 overall pick this draft, is coming off a solid preseason and could supplant DeAndre Hunter for the starting small forward role early on this year. Rissache is an athletic defender and should be a good source of rebounds and stocks in his first season. If Atlanta tanks out of the gates, I'd expect Rissache to benefit. And at number 1, we have Alex Sarr. Now, we are unsure if Sarr will be ready to go to start the season, as he is still nursing a calf injury. Don't let that faze you for picking him up. At the start of the season, you can afford to stash some players, and Sarr should be in for a productive first year in Washington. He has a Jaren Jackson Jr. mold, and he should impact your 3-point and block categories when he does play. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'm going to sign off for now, but I will catch you guys on the next episode.